Yo, what's up, YouTube? Hope everyone doing great. We're back at it with another video. Early morning. Hope everyone is all right. I got my coffee right here. Let's see what's going on in the world.
Your clients dream big. Your agency builds bigger. Move faster. Go further. Expand. You don't need to reinvent yourself.
One of the four people charged in connection to a drug overdose death of a woman who was visiting Miami for the Ultra Music Festival has pleaded guilty. The four people were arrested after a 24-year-old student ended up dead after taking Molly at last year's music festival.
And especially in Miami, you got to be careful, especially nowadays. They put a lot of fentanyl in it. There's so much other drugs inside that drug that just give you a good experience that will eventually kill you if you keep taking it or you take the wrong batch. May her spirit rest in peace.
NBC6's Christian Colon has a major update tonight.
The 2025 Ultra Music Festival turned deadly for 24-year-old Jenny Lee. The nursing student became unresponsive after taking Molly, a pill prosecutors say she got from Charlene 40.
Charging with one count of murder, which is a capital felony, conspiracy to commit murder, and unlawful use of a two-way communications device.
Prosecutors charged 40 with murder, alleging she was the drug plug or supplier that Lee connected with while visiting Miami. Lee collapsed in the festival after taking the pill.
And she had ingested MDMA, which they purchased from Charlene 40 through Carmen Lowe.
Lowe was also facing a conspiracy to commit murder charge.
Carmen Lowe?
But today, prosecutors dropped that charge in exchange for Lowe pleading guilty to unlawful use of her phone in connection with drug distribution.
Today is her case closed with a plea to unlawful use of
Okay.
communication.
Okay.
Lowe, who covered her face from cameras in court today, was sentenced to 5 years of probation, and she will not be considered a convicted felon. But a source involved in the investigation tells NBC6 Lowe is now a cooperating witness
That's
against
crazy.
40, along with two other people who also
Call
pleaded
mom.
guilty to drug possession charges, including the victim's partner. 40's attorney was shocked by today's plea deal.
It just furthers my initial suspicions that this was a selective prosecution. Under Florida law, if the state's facts are correct,
Yeah, and these people right here, that was charged, it's crazy. Like all of them are young, and like this possibly could ruin their life, and this could be like a stigma that they hold forever. I know they feel bad. I know didn't actually mean to kill her, but you just gotta be careful with these drugs.
Also pleaded guilty to drug possession charges, including the victim's partner. 40's attorney was shocked by today's plea deal.
it just furthers my initial suspicions that this was a selective prosecution. Under Florida law, if the state's facts are correct, 3 people are guilty of murder. And all these other people got sweetheart deals, and now my client's still on the hook.
Out of the 4 people initially arrested, 40 is now the only one with an open case. If convicted, she could face life in prison. 40 has pleaded not guilty. At the Miami-Dade Criminal Courthouse, Christian Colon, NBC6 News.
Yeah, it sucks, man. May her spirit rest in peace. Let's see, is there another video? Let's see this. Right here. TMZ. Let me see. Okay.
Miss North Carolina, USA.
No, not this.
Strip of title.
One of the 4 people charged in connection to a drug overdose death of a woman who was visiting Miami for
Alright, let's look at.
EVE Online on Mac immerses you in a universe with thousands of star systems like never before. Follow a path of your own choosing and become a titan of industry. Explore the wonders of the universe. Or join record-breaking.
Yeah.
The story of Donald Trump getting on a catering truck from Air Force One and then going on to a smaller airplane to leave Turkey is astonishing enough. It's scary that there.
And that's crazy. It was an actual assassination tip. Trump, honestly, if I'm him, I'm not flying anywhere close to that area because it's a lot of things that's going on, and it's deeper than what's being said on TV. It really is. Like, not Iran. You got allies that are trying to take you out, Trump. Just hope everything pans out. But, the U.S., we got a sophisticated system, but still, anybody is untouchable. No one is untouchable.
There was this kind of a threat. But one of the elements of this incredible story has kind of been tempered for some reason. I spoke to a couple of people involved in this story, and I am not sure at all why it's been tempered. I'm told there were more than a dozen members of the White House pool, reporters, along with a handful of White House staff and military personnel, in addition to these uniformed flight attendants, who were on the old Air Force One. And for some reason, they allowed that airplane to take off and fly to London through Turkish airspace when presumably there was a severe security threat such that Donald Trump could not take that state-of-the-art airplane to London. That's just unbelievable that if there was this kind of a threat, why would they let that airplane fly, Air Force One? Because the idea of putting Trump in the catering truck and then getting him onto another aircraft, well, what they were trying to show was that for all intents and purposes, people would believe Trump was still on the old Air Force One. And if he was still on the old Air Force One and there was a security threat targeting that aircraft, the Iranians would have believed that Trump was on Air Force One. That was the whole point. And yet he wasn't, but these unsuspecting reporters, White House staff, and military personnel were on that plane and they flew. I asked somebody who was involved in the story, why wouldn't they fake a mechanical problem and wait until Donald Trump was able to get through that area and get into safe airspace and then declare what happened? And they had no idea why that didn't happen.
Yeah, this is like, I don't know, man. Secret Service has been lacking for a minute, man. There've been too many attempts, like close calls with Donald Trump. When you look at it, and it's crazy. It's crazy to tell you the truth.
But the idea that these unsuspecting reporters and others, White House staff, just didn't know is pretty remarkable. And, the other thing that's kind of interesting is that they almost always have some reporter on planes that the president flies to chronicle anything that might happen.
Yeah, this is crazy, man. Honestly, how do you all feel? Like before that, please like, share, subscribe. I truly appreciate it. We're growing at a rapid pace. Um, I really appreciate everything you're doing. You all doing for me, helping me out. Thank you so much.
Planes in Turkey following the NATO summit. The New York Times is reporting that Iran wanted to use a shoulder-fired missile to target Air Force One. CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes joins us now for more on this. Nancy, what more are we learning about this threat?
Well, Michael, that new report from the New York Times about this shoulder-fired missile will certainly help to explain why the Secret Service went to such great lengths to move President Trump off of Air Force One secretly and onto another plane. We had the opportunity to ask President Trump about the operation last night and
Let's see what Trump gonna say.
about why Air Force One was still allowed to take off despite the threat.
I just have to do what they say. They go for safety, and I have to do what they say.
In his first public comments about the secret switch he made last month, President Trump said he only snuck away from Air Force One on an airport catering truck and got on a smaller plane because the Secret Service told him to. He ended up flying on a military 757 from Turkey to England, while reporters and his aides stayed on Air Force One and flew the same route.
Imagine if, God forbid, that plane did get shot down. All of them gonna be dead.
Journal reports Secretary of State Marco Rubio was among those left on the decoy plane.
Why was it too dangerous for you to fly on Air Force One, but not
I think actually the plane that I flew on was at greater risk. I was at greater risk because that would be the plane I think that they would be more likely to go for.
By they, he means the Iranians. And according to new reporting from the New York Times, they knew a lot about his movements in neighboring Turkey during last month's NATO summit, where he was staying, and even which floor he was on. Two U.S. officials told the Times that someone in the vicinity of the NATO summit had been spotted with a shoulder-fired missile, and that there was a specific and credible threat about one being used to target Air Force One, though Trump would not confirm that last night.
Were you in a shoulder-fired missile?
I don't worry about anything, to be honest. Whatever, you know my attitude, whatever.
Whatever.
Democrats
Trump don't care. He really don't. What y'all thoughts on the whole situation with Donald Trump and him having to be in a decoy vehicle to be able to escape to go to the summit? That's crazy, honestly. I don't even remember it ever happening to a president. Probably did in recent times, but we never heard of it. And plus, with the young lady that died with the overdose, how do you all feel about drugs at music festivals? Do you believe that they should actually sell the drugs there? At least they do sell the drugs there. It'll be made sure that there's nothing funny in the drugs, and it'll be safe for people to use those type of drugs, especially for those events. Thank you all so much for the watch, the watch time and the views. I truly appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next video.